watching the 5 o'clock news.
Mayor Mamdani's threat to raise property taxes could rattle the real estate market. His aim at the wealthy could trickle down and affect working and middle-class New Yorkers. Experts say the potential increase would force many homeowners to go bankrupt or leave the city.
All right, joining us now to tell us what a tax hike could look like is Lisa Simonsen, broker with Brown, Harris, Stevens. Lisa, thanks for being with us here today. There doesn't seem to be a big constituency for this proposed property tax hike. I'm not seeing anyone who seems to be too excited about it.
Right.
Walk us through the potential ramifications of something like this going through.
Well, hi, thank you for having me today. And I like to start, I just, don't necessarily believe the hype. So this is something we've just heard that may happen, but it hasn't happened. So I like to just sort of, de-escalate everyone getting into a panic. And yes, it would affect people's, values potentially, but it's, it could start at $700 plus per year. So again, it hasn't happened. And I always think that as New Yorkers, we're resilient. Prices come up, prices come down. So, let's, as I said, let's all stay calm.
Sure, yeah.
Property taxes go up for the homeowner, and there's a lot of concern that this could trickle down to the renters. How would it affect the rental market?
Yeah, there's no question. Again, if this happens, this would affect the rental market. Prices would, rents would go up. I have a couple of investment properties myself, and yes, they would go up, but guess what? Your rents go up every year anyway. So, there's a lot to consider.
Well, and
we don't have all the facts right now.
And when you dig into this whole system, it seems like there's just so many carve-outs and exceptions, and the taxes are so dramatically different from borough to borough, neighborhood to neighborhood to begin with. It seems like this is an area that would be sort of ripe for some, to take a deeper look at and maybe make it more equitable all around to begin with.
Absolutely, and that's the whole point of it. It's supposed to be sort of everyone's going to be in this together, so that's a great point. And, think of interest rates, right? People have to adjust their interest rates, inflation. So, we're constantly working with different numbers and situations. So I think everyone needs to, take a deep breath and let's see what happens.
The last time that there was a major property tax hike in New York City was in 2003 under Mayor Bloomberg. Of course, the situation was different. This was, post 9/11. Was there any lesson to be learned? What happened to the city during that time?
I think that's a great example, and I'm glad you brought it up. The city was thriving, and I think that in terms of learning a lesson, I believe that the lesson to be learned is that people want to be in New York. The market right now is the highest it's been in over a decade, so I don't think anyone is leaving because of this.
Yeah, and you heard the city council speaker say it's a no from them as far as moving forward on this. It does appear to be that this is part of a negotiation between the mayor and governor to try to close this budget gap.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I believe it's a negotiation.
And what do you think about the fact that they're still going to expand the budget? Like, we're not talking any cuts.
Right.
Does that trouble you as someone involved in the real estate agency and industry in general? That we're not cutting the budget, we're just expanding the budget, but looking to raise taxes and raise the emergency fund? Does that concern you?
Again, I tried to look at the facts and the data and see what's been happening in the market, and I think, again, we've had such a strong start to the year that I'm feeling still very confident about where we're headed through the next quarter.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Lisa, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.